Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a heroic Power Fist build for the Bulwark class in patch 11.0 Space Marine 2 to trivialize Tyranids and have a pretty damn good time versus Chaos in operations and hard stratagem. Now, the Power Fist here is super underrated. Death's Grasp is the heroic version. The heroic perk effect is called Follow-Up Shot. Performing a finisher marks a nearby Majora's level or higher enemy for a gun strike. Light attack damage increases by a fat 200%, but charge attack damage decreases by 50%. Now, losing 50% charge attack damage may sound awful initially, but this decrease is only additive, which means that with things like overcharge, you're not really losing a lot at all, and on top of that, the fencing Power Fist here in the Relic tier has a 13 strength, this one has a 15 base strength, which means that your charge attacks are hitting like 135 for a level 1 charge attack. This one hits 160, and to put that in perspective, a Tyranid Warrior's HP is like 308, so you're really not losing a ton whatsoever. I think this is by far the best in slot option for a fencing Power Fist in the game currently, and even though this one has a 9+ speed, this doesn't really do anything for us because it does not affect your charge rate whatsoever, and this one also just has way better light attack, so definitely the best Power Fist for fencing versions in my opinion. Now for the perk tree here, I do pick up Perpetual Strength first, moving here into the perk Heavy Preparation. Heavy attack preparation time is reduced by 30%, applies to the following attacks: Thrust Jab, Back Fist, Hammer Hook, Back Fist 2, Thrust Jab 2. This is still the best option in my opinion because the heavy attacks on this really aren't that bad at all, and the perk up here, Swift Recovery for double CHP recovery on your heavy attacks, is pretty good, but on a Bulwark class, you do have Invigorating Icon, so honestly, who cares? Next perk here is Perpetual Strength for a 10% melee damage increase. Moving here into the perk Focus Intention. When your health is below 30%, you take 50% less health damage while preparing heavy attacks. This one is still very powerful, even on the Death's Grasp Power Fist without lost damage on your heavy attacks. And the next one here is Tide of Battle. Power wave forward distance increases from 4 to 8 meters, applies to the following attacks: Thrust Jab, Back Fist, Hammer Hook, Back Fist 2, Thrust Jab 2. This is actually an incorrect description in this game. It takes your power wave forward distance from like 10 to 20 meters, which is why the Power Fist hits so damn far. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed this yet, but that's just the way it is in the game currently. And the next perk here is Following Blow. Back Fist and Back Fist 2 can be performed instantly after a charged Thrust Jab or Hammer Hook. This perk is definitely better on the Block Fist, but it's not too bad here. It does help out with stagger and picking up the occasional execute, so I do grab it for that. Next perk is Combo. After a successful heavy attack, the next light attack deals 10% more melee damage. This is just a free buff, but like, to be honest, this perk is not that good. We mainly pick it up here to go into the next perk over here with Majora's Slayer. Melee damage against Majora's level enemies increases by 10%, and then the final perk I grab here is Heavy Armament. Cannon Punch deals 50% more damage. The main reason I picked this one up is because usually you'll go from a Cannon Punch immediately into light attacks, and our light attacks do have a 200% damage buff, which do hit very hard in this game. Like, a 200% increase to your Power Fist hits with a base strength of 15 is pretty heavy hitting, so this is a pretty nice combo here. But if you want to skip over this perk and take like Strength of Will instead, you can definitely do that. But that's pretty much all there is for the Power Fist tree here. Now for the secondary here, I do take the Retribution's Bequest Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol. This weapon currently has the highest per shot gunstrike damage in the entire game. The Plasma Pistol does have like an AoE gunstrike effect, but this one is overall higher on like a single enemy, which is why I prefer it here. And this weapon got a pretty fat buff from the public test server. The gunstrike damage is actually the worst in the entire game, at least for the Heavy Bolt Pistol options. In the PTS, that is no longer the case, and also the Heroic perk effect here did get buffed up. This one is called No Help Is Coming. Shooting an enemy with the Elite Scream status effect stops it from calling for reinforcements, and headshots kill in one shot. One of the biggest issues people have with this gun is that the magazine capacity and ammo reserves are kind of trash, but this perk does save you ammo because basically in Space Marine 2, if you were playing on absolute difficulty or hard stratagems and you stop an elite from calling for reinforcements, they will almost always go enraged, and that will cost you more ammo, on top of the fact that if you don't stop the reinforcement call, you may be fighting an entire horde. So being able to stop a horde and one-shot an enraged enemy effectively is going to save you a ton of ammo. I think that's kind of like their whole design philosophy about making this thing have a lower magazine capacity and ammo reserve option to begin with. It might be like a little excessive to have this thing be like a 48 ammo reserve versus like the 80 firepower version. Maybe they could buff that up, but it's still pretty good here. And if you're like really hurting for ammo, I would just go for like, the ammo reserve option if you want that instead, because this one still has a pretty decent gun strike damage. Now for the perk tree, either way, I would set up this way. I go down here into Divine Might for a 10% damage increase, moving into the perk Perpetual Penetration, which isn't like super good. Usually you're not like lining up shots on this anyways. We do have to pick this one up to go into the perk that is pretty great with this gun. Increased capacity for a 20% increase in our ammo reserves, because our ammo reserves do suck. And the next perk here is Extended Magazine, which also helps quite a bit. We move here into the most important perk, Death Strike. After killing a Majora's level or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Now, this perk's description doesn't tell you can also do an execute to trigger this perk, and really useful option here. You will always trigger this on a Bulwark anyways, and we get extra benefit from our executes with the follow-up shot mechanic regardless, so pretty nice synergy there. Next perk here is Great Might for 10% damage bonus against Terminus, moving up here into the perk Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. Well, this thing's ammo reserve sucks, so you trigger this all the time. Next perk here is Strong Finish. Last round of magazine deals 50% more damage. Moving here into the perk Headhunter and Gunstrike Reload, which is pretty nice because we Gunstrike all the time because we are a fencing build. And the final perk here is Tactical Precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage, and non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. This perk is pretty much top tier whenever bolt pistol is on, or really any bolt weapon in the game. Headshots simply matter more than body shots in pretty much all cases in this game, so definitely grab this. By far the most valuable option here. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary option. Now for the Bulwark perk tree, I do start off with one of the best perks in the entire game, Intimidating Aura. A perfect time parry deals area effect damage within a 5-meter radius. Cooldown is 5 seconds. This one with a fencing weapon especially generates so much damn value. You will basically one combo any single Majora's in the game. Really powerful option, but I will say if you want to take Conviction instead for 25% health damage reduction per seconds on armor break, this will save your life and make you significantly tankier, especially with your base HP increase of 30%. Having at least one of these perks does help out a ton. I would say like mainly versus Tyranids, you really don't need a perk like this, but if you're fighting Chaos, sometimes having this extra health damage reduction really does help. Next perk here is Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 25% less damage from range attacks. Moving here into the perk Armor Reinforcement. Non-finisher gun strikes restore 1 armor segment. This perk is already godlike with like any fencing weapon in the game, but with the heroic perk effect here, follow-up shot, you are getting even more gun strikes, and on top of that, our gun strikes hit like a truck with this weapon anyways, so a really good value here. And the way that armor works in Space Marine 2 is that any amount of armor remaining will reduce the next incoming melee hit to 0 damage even from bosses. If you get like that 1 armor back off a gun strike and a Karn effect slaps you in the face, you will take 0 HP damage, which is amazing. The next perk here is Advanced Conditioning. Contested health fades 50% more slowly for all of your squad members. This perk is very noob friendly. It really helps out people that don't understand how the CHP regen system in this game works, where like ranged weapons just have a stupid priority. And even for people that do, it just makes it way easier to pull off your CHP. Great perk for sure. Really forgiving, and so is the perk up here, Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all of your squad members automatically restore 1 armor segment. This perk is also incredible, but like you really can't go wrong with either one of these, and even Effective Formation is pretty good. Next perk is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies in the area of effect. This perk is basically a shock grenade around your banner. It will do a tremendous amount of damage to Extremis, Majoris, and even bosses, and it will just wipe out Minoris like casually. It really is the best option in this column, and really honestly a pretty fun perk to use. And on top of that, it also clears out Bramble this patch, I believe, so even better than before. Next perk here is the fabled Invigorating Icon. When the banner is activated, all of your squad members regain maximum contested health, but it recharges 50% slower. Printing HP in this game is god tier. This is like a top 2, if not top 1 perk in the entire game. I think the only perk competing for this one is honestly Secure Stockpile with like pure value generation. This one can basically up your margin for error by like 10, if not hundreds of times. It is incredible how good this perk is. If you want to take like Glorious Shield, you can also do that, but like this one is definitely better. Definitely pick this one up if you're like trying to have the easiest time possible. Next perk here is a Merciless Resolve. After a Shield Bash, Shield Rush, or Thunderhammer Pommel Smash, melee damage increases by 15%, and you don't lose control from heavy hits and can't be knocked back for 10 seconds. This is just a nice little melee damage buff for shield bashing the air. You don't actually have to hit anything through Shield Bash or Shield Rush to trigger this perk, and having no knockback for 10 seconds on top of that is pretty nice, especially if your armor's broken. Now, if you want to skip this perk and take the perk up here, Rejuvenating Effect, to get up your teammates, a lot of people do like this one. It's definitely a pretty good option. And the final perk I grab either way is Armored Advance. If you have armor remaining, you don't lose control from heavy hits, and you can't be knocked back. Now, the way that no knockback works in Space Marine 2 is that if you are to get hit by an attack that would take you off your feet, you will only be staggered. If you get hit by an attack that would stagger you, nothing happens instead. So the description's like a little bit confusing for people, but it's still a very powerful perk. It will prevent you from getting stun locked by things like Sword Warriors, and also just help you out by keeping you from being like perma-stunned by a card effect. So great perk. And the perk up here, Defensive Mastery, is also very good, but you'll have to basically trigger your Shield Bash here with Merciless Resolve over and over if you want no knockback on this option. So I would just take this if you want like an easier time. Now, for the prestige perks here, I do take Resilience first. Medicae Stims restore 40% more health. This just makes your pickups way more valuable. If you don't want to take this, you want to take like Auxiliary Reload, you could, but this one only gives you back 1 magazine versus an Extremis. And for us, that is like, what, like 7 or 8 shots, which is like not super good at all, which is why I do skip this on this weapon setup. But the next perk here, Overcharge, I would take pretty much no matter what. Held and charge attack damage increases by 20%. This is a multiplicative damage increase for your charge attacks, and even though we have a 50% reduced charge attack damage on this weapon, it still helps out a ton, so I'd still pick this up. Next perk here is Powerful Shot. Range damage increases by 20%, pretty self-explanatory. And the final perk is Masterful Defense. Ability charge restored by 1% for every blocked range attack. CDR perks are incredible in pretty much every Horde shooter ever, and this is one of the best in this entire game. Being able to get a full banner basically off a single Soul Cannon Terminator is god tier. This is probably like a top 5, if not like top 2 perk in the entire Prestige perk list for all classes. And really, just always pick this up if you have a shield build of any kind. You're not like using a Thunder Hammer, which does nothing. But that is pretty much everything I have to say about the Heroic Power Fist build here. This really is a very forgiving and very useful weapon. I think this one is super underrated, and if you're like a new player, this might be the best of the new heroic weapons for you. And really, any fencing weapon with Intimidating Aura and Armor Reinforcement is going to be a very noob-friendly build. That's a good thing for this game, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Here's some gameplay. Bye.
Execute that one, lest it summon aid. Reload. Skittles the great Skittles. Stay alert.
Alright, your comments got me back into Space Marine 2. Thank you so much. No problem, dude. Space Marine 2 is my favorite game after all. You guys like my outfit, by the way? I was trying to go for like a white Templar look. It's not really lore accurate, but... No, this is a hard stratagem. This thing just does a fuck ton of damage. We do have Combat Mastery active, though, which is another multiplicative damage buff. So... it's not 100% representative of what we should be having here, but the gun strike damage is the same. Because Combat Mastery, this stratagem here says melee or range damage increase with the bonus switching every 15 seconds. That's like a 15% multiplicative buff on top of your other stuff. That's pretty strong. Not bad drip, thank you. I honestly spend a dumb amount of time with my drift. Probably need to play this game though. There we go, look at that light attack damage.
You failed at ultra fire.
Bonk. You're supposed to, FCG. True.
No foe may hide from his justice.
Within the tree. And we have Icon right now, so we don't really care about taking the damage here that much. I mean, it's preferable not to, but... So if I can trigger this on this guy... Oh, I shot him in the face. Okay, well.
Inserting rounds.
Tried.
One dead zone. Closer to killing business.
Look at the light attack damage here. Now this is a combat mastery active. This would be just chunk him.
Glorious night. Strengthened our this ravenous tunnel. No Xenos monstrosity may escape.
Last shot. Integral part of my day, FTG stream. Thank you, Beach-Av. Alright, there we go. This is a heroic fist? Yes, it is. I'll be on 30 minutes, save a spot for me for the dailies, and we'll try again. Is there a new stratagem yet? That comes tomorrow. Yeah, they changed around the whole way they do these things now. For whatever reason. A frag grenade, ammo cache. Why change it around and give more people more time to complete the weekend? Yeah. Why I did it? Could have been like a bug too. You never know.
I have eyes on the guard camp. No sentries posted.
Reporting in. Team has arrived at the Imperial Guard encampment.
Talassa, you need to require the Astral Battalion Demolition Corps to fire control line and arm their ordnance. Source one from any soldier you see, alive or otherwise.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Oh shit. Clearly a gun strike off of this if he doesn't die. Wait, that. Good.
Diligence, brothers. We will find those codes. Our banner awaits unfurled.
You cast Fist. Not a bad option. So let's look at this another gun strike here. You can really just farm these guys on the gun strikes. We'll have any execute too, not just a Resource for hire. Is it worth having auxiliary ammunition on the Bulwark when equipped with a heroic heavy bolt pistol? I don't think so. I don't even think auxiliary ammunition is that good outside of siege mode anyways. If you're playing with teammates. It is. Right. Word for the thing. Is this a White Templar? It's a something Templar. I don't know if White Templars are actually a thing. I've heard people talk about them before though. It's certainly a lot more manageable in the weekly hard. Yeah, they are. Well, I mean, the weekly hard's not that bad either, to be honest, this time, but this one's pretty easy. Maybe not for Vanguard.
This looks promising.
Captain, codes retrieved.
Proceed to the Prometheum refinery and complete the demolition preparations.
Oh, yes, the art thing, yeah. Yeah, Imperial Fisters. We're a White Templar, actually, Hypex.
Waste nothing, brothers.
Ooh, Sanctified Wrath Reliquary. We're gonna be playing more daily strats with viewers after this, but for now. What's up, the charge heavy attacks still do work? They do, actually. Because it's only an additive decrease you get. For that. God, Bulwark's just so damn strong. This might be the single safest build in the entire game currently. Very noob friendly. I hope in the future they add in Wolfspear cosmetics. They did have Wolfspear guy in the new Deathwash killers. That would be kind of neat. They exist. They were in a somewhat recent animated series, but they are also in the studies there, so I mean they're both more accurate, right? At this point, you retcon them, or whatever it may be. What's the worst stratagem you've done? Optimal stratagem overall. I mean, maybe a suboptimal state one, but like I don't think any of these are too bad. It's such a clusterfuck.
Never seen Prometheum in the
Alright, this should be, yeah, feels right.
That silence intimidates the fire.
What's the best equipment? Overall, Melt the Bomb. Shock nades are really, really good too.
This side of Xenos is dead.
I do sometimes like crack grenades if you have them for
We crush the ravenous
things like sorcerers and stuff, but besides that, not really. You know, on YouTube, decided to follow you here. Love your build for the heroic heavy bolter. Thank you, Hellbilly. The heroic heavy bolter is pretty damn good in this game. Feel like that. There we go.
reload.
Oh, it's so satisfying. Alright, it should give us another gun strike. Bang. I mean, if we did our little execute on him. Thanks, game. Fucking spore mine. So the neat thing about this build, so we can run over here and we can probably get an execute on the zone. No, we'll go in on him. Okay, so we'll shoot this guy. This will give us a gun strike on the zone through. They actually save a bit of ammo, which is nice. Or actually, there's a cooldown on it. Hold on. Well, that's one way to do it. This should give us one. It is a 15-meter radius, so you actually trigger this. For a little bit of it. Okay, well that was not optimal performance or showcase of that, but you can get a gun strike on them. Hi, I want to jump into this game. Any benefit to buy a Season 2 pass? Only if you like the cosmetics. It's only cosmetics on that. Is the Block Axe better for Vanguard than what? Chainsword? I think so. Yeah, Block Axe is an S tier weapon currently. He does have Power Fist, so I would say so. Matter the Power Gladius. But Power Gladius is balanced, which can suck sometimes. Give me that gun strike. Combat mastery so good.
Fresh magazine.
I'm currently going to play some Vanguard because I'm on Prestige 3 with Heavy already. Vanguard is pretty damn good this patch. Not as good as he was in the PTS, but still good. Definitely a good class. This should give us a gun strike off the execute here. Dang. Another one. Bet. Alright, I'm just gonna plant a banner here, I think. I might not need to. Oh, I might need to actually, yeah. Okay. That's a worthwhile banner, I think.
Behold, the supremacy of Ultra.
Dang.
We crush the ravenous brood.
X-axis aligned. Running on Messiah's will.
The first leg of this race is behind us. How tyranny march.
That's a good. That effect is so good. So much better than it might seem. Initially. Ow.
That silence truly shit.
Alright, there we go.
Deceptive beast.
What are we waiting for in the bomb deployment is my question.
nanometers. Blessed be the omniscience denying precision.
Progress is progress, brothers. We are almost there.
Are we almost there? Because it's really been here a while.
Inserting rounds.
Has a new weekly reset yet? No, it is not. It comes tomorrow.
Alien interval.
Dude, look how much value you actually get out of that pistol. Pretty damn good. Oh, they ran in opposite direction. That one actually booked it. You guys see that shit?
There is an observation platform overlooking the Kryptomedium fields. It will make a good vantage for your ambush.
I haven't actually beamed it.
Our banner awaits some further. The weapon beast is destroyed.
What's up, FTG? I'm watching the stream while I'm at work. Thanks, fourth year Saiyan. Fourth year Saren. Saiyan. The Fist and Heavy Bolt Pistol are the only heroics I have left to go. Which one do I buy next? I think Heavy Bolt Pistol is really good. The Fist is very good. Fist is probably the most noob-friendly one of all of them. Brother Terry on your back is having a fun time watching the slaughter for dude. R-boost. Bet. Is a heroic heavy bolt pistol better than the plasma pistol? I think the plasma is better than the standard bolt pistol, but
Keep going forward.
it really depends, you know. I would put that one in S tier though. Personally. Only because it's good against everything. Except for like zones with. Okay, grab him.
Get us to the grave.
There we go. Yo, did you have a nice stream? Thanks, John Wick. The John Wick in my chat.
Fresh magazine. We crush the ravenous brood.
Perish. Oh, that combat mastery buff. Combat mastery is cool. It does kind of take away from like the whole showcase a little bit, but one of the best positive modifiers you can find in this game.
That silenced the Tunic fire kitty. Get that artifact with everything we have. rain.
Yeah.
Fail that oath.
There we go. Oh, range guys here.
Silence intimidates by kitty.
A lot of range guys. Lot. How do you spam the shield bash so fast? I have a whole video on that. If you're curious, I did link it in the one thing. The shield bash video I made today.
No foe will pass the Imperial justice. Skitter to the grave, sitting back, ready to deploy. Our glorious battle strengthens now.
Is that a white Templar outfit? You betcha. Still think not having the white Templars in the fist pack is a missed opportunity. Well, that is true. We can pretty easily make them. We can pretty easily make them at least.
We crush the ravenous brood.
Hey, there we go. About their chapter symbol in game? I just kind of toss on like whatever shoulder they have in this game that isn't like a proper chapter display. So there are a lot of shoulders in Space Marine 2 that don't display your chapter symbol anyways, so that's why I use them for, so we don't have some of the DLC packs yet. Does the One Punch Man build still work? Oh yeah, Block Fist still one-shots everything. Still does. To this day. And probably forever. That's gonna kill this guy.
You failed that ultra. Fate.
As if I tried. Not that it would make a dent.
I'm really a fencing Andy, but the block axe bust has changed me. Well, you can still be a fencing Andy with the heroic power fist. Very strong. Also a pretty fun fencing weapon. I think this might be my favorite Power Fist, only because it actually does what a Power Fist is supposed to do, which is use the actual combos of the Power Fist. Is a Heroic Fist better on Assault than Bulwark? I mean, Bulwark's better with everything. It's an animation cancel. There's not a single melee weapon in this game I'd say is better on Assault than Bulwark. Maybe, like, maybe in terms of direct damage, but animation canceling is pretty intense.
Keep your heads and get it done.
That's just my opinion. My opinion.
They're on to us.
Alright, so that's this guy. Why are the Imperial Fist successors cooler than them? Hold on, I don't think they all are. Wow, that's Roman purpose out there.
Searching round. Our banner awaits the Xenos are forming a pyramid. Ready, sign off for that.
Bonk.
The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the predicted path. Continue holding.
This galaxy's the floor.
Celestial Lions were so cool, they made the Orcs jealous and shot them with snipers. That's true. The only weakness of a Celestial Lion is a sneaky Orc sniper.
Fresh magazine. The fewer psychers these Xenos have, the better. Tyranny. Enemies on our left flank.
Ah, that's a lot of Spore Mines. Yeah, that's where the Neo Volkite performs pretty well. Whoops.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up.
More hostiles entering engagement range.
Alright, there we go. This finale is kind of a slog, like once you kill the boss, because not much is actually going to kill you here. Can I do it? All the way over here?
The swarm is almost
That would have been really cool.
Be ready for my mark.
We crush the ravenous beauty. Where shall I guard this man?
A lot of damage. When do you think grabs will be reworked? I have no idea in this game. Knowing Saber, probably next year.
Load up.
Maybe patch 12, probably later.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Understood, Commander. Readying the charge.
Probably even later.
How tyranny fought. We have laid waste to the enemy. A fine bit.
Unit biocides down 90% and fallen. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Thunderhawk arriving at evac point. Wrap down and ready.
Birds at the extraction point. Hurry!
Alright, let's go and assemble. And that was a hard strat with that. That is the heroic power fist build. I wonder how much damage we had. Gunstrike damage is counted as range damage now, so it does show up in the end screen. Wasn't that way for a very long time in the game until like patch 10. Okay. Almost 40,000 damage-ish. Well, over 40,000 damage. Pretty good. 24 Extremis, pretty high in that match.